Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Esther from Esther's Orchids, and we're just doing a continuation of how my orchids are growing on the shelving in my house. So these ones here are in my lounge, and I have on the bottom shelf tucked in there as many of my bigger fells as I can possibly get in there. We have some good spikes going on in there, and the cattleya still managing to stay warm enough and grow. So that's my bottom shelf. As you can see, there is lighting again through each shelf. So there's a cattleya at the back there and fells in spike there. This one I've put the plastic on and I haven't actually made it nice and tidy and tied that to the shelf. Okay, explanation on this fell leaf here. It used to sit out in the conservatory. That big leaf was the leaf that sat closest to where the heater let the air up, the warm air up, and that's what caused the big split in the leaf. However, the rest of her is still growing nicely and she has a spike. So in the back there, just some more fells. I have a problem of storing quite a few large phalaenopsis in my house while I'm still wanting to move on with my project, which is deflasking. So there are some of my Path Argus that I deflasked. They are so slow growing, but that's just how it is, and some of them are not all that happy and some of them are still growing good. They were all done straight into fern fibre, and I'm kind of finding it isn't always absolutely the best. So at the back here we have some little cattleya crosses with BLCs. So this was one of the deflasking projects that I did, and these were the plants that were the bigger ones in the flask of the two. So they are still mostly growing, and that was a flask I shared, so that wasn't a full flask that I'm growing there. So I have a pink profusion, a little twinkle there with a beautiful spike. And this was the other deflasking that I did. And these were the plants that there were lots and lots and lots of them, but they were much tinier. I don't know if I can change the camera there to show. No, we'll just try picking out the tag. So that's the Aussie Sunset Cosmic Fire crossed with Virginia Dickey Diamond Orchids. So mostly all of them have creep growing. Occasionally I end up with one little empty pot like I have here, and I leave it empty. If that one had a plant growing in it but that little seedling died off, I leave it there. Sometimes the empty ones are just to take up the space so that things don't fall over. And then beside that I have some of my other little mini fells growing. And another fell that's a bit of a rescue one there that doesn't have many roots at the back. So on the top, no, second to top shelf, we have some more fells and some paths. They were the ones from August last year again. And I have 3 flasks. So these are phalaenopsis. No, I have 4 flasks. I think the others are basically RLC Village Chief Green Tynan. So I'm trying to get these to be as big as I can get them to grow in the flask, as long as they are still happy and the agar hasn't separated. Really hard to read that one. Jiminy Cricket Superbug. So that's a Brassivola. And I have also, pulled out a light, But I've also deflasked, oh, so there's my Ludiminiana Dark. And I've also deflasked some, I think they're Vanda Teres, Teres. So there's something I've never grown, never deflasked, but I grabbed what I could, and just to see if I can keep some things growing. So this is how you do it in a very, very small space. So on my last shelf there's a Cattleya, a Monstera growing up to the roof, some other form of a pot plant, my Cattleya that I had to cut and I didn't think was going to grow. So that was the one that got all the really weird black spots, and I was going to throw it out, but since then it has a new growth coming up. So in that leaf there that I had to cut way back, didn't get anything else, although I see that one there has a nasty looking spot that might need to be chopped out. So that's a Cattleya, had a beautiful flower. And then just up there we have another fell that fell off the shelf. I think that's my Sogo Vivian, the little mini that had all the struggles that came out of a cold shop. When it jumps off a shelf, it looks like it's now getting a bacterial thing on that leaf because it got damaged. And one last fell. So that is the shelf that's growing in a corner of my lounge. Thanks everybody. If you like this video, give it the thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing, and please feel free to do so if you're enjoying the content. Thank you.